What is up, the catch fam? Hope everyone is doing phenomenal tonight. You guys already know what time it is, man. Another way too early 2022 live fantasy football mock draft with you guys with the catch fam. We got Steven in the building. What is up, man? We have got a lot to talk about tonight.
Yeah, this has got to be the most exciting too early mock draft. I mean, this is everything that we were waiting on to break so that we would get fantasy resulting type of action material. It happened like today. So we got a couple more things that could happen, obviously, over the next week. But the NFL is they're keeping things exciting. They're keeping things exciting.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't even know where to start. I think just
Maybe we
kind of
should start with Calvin Ridley.
sure. Yeah,
That's a fun one.
I think naturally throughout the night we'll kind of get to all the different breaking news. I mean, Calvin Ridley, Russell Wilson, Carson Wentz, Aaron Rodgers. We got franchise tags. We got rumors about Deshaun Watson going around. We got Bobby Wagner being released.
Yeah, that was brutal.
We've got just endless content for the night, which is
Commander
great.
Carson. As I see Spencer coming in here and dropping the comment, I saw Adam Schefter post that. He said Commander Carson, and I was like, don't do that. Don't. This guy is terrible, man. I think the Colts traded a second round draft pick to get off of that contract, which means the Colts currently have no first and no second and no quarterback.
Well, let's see.
So I don't know.
I've got the let's see. I've got the whole.
We received
all right. So the Colts received a 2022 third round pick, 2023 third round pick that can become a second if Carson Wentz plays at least 70% of snaps, and they get a 2022 second round pick.
I think so. We gave it up, right?
They gave up. Commanders get a 2022 second round pick and Carson Wentz, but the Colts still got a 2022 second round pick in return. So still got that.
Oh, so we got their 2022 second.
Yeah. I mean, the Colts did all right here. It is the sixth consecutive season that the Colts will have a different starting quarterback, but
I guess I didn't really think about it that way because all right, at least we now have a second round draft pick, which one of these rookie quarterbacks is going to fall to the early beginning of the second round that we can grab.
Well, Spencer coming in here, and I sent this to you not too long ago, but there is a heavy rumor going around that the Colts will be trading for Jordan Love.
Sweet, man. I heard the speculation about Mitchell Trubisky, Jordan Love, and potentially Jimmy Garoppolo. And let's just say if we don't get Mr. Handsome himself, Jimmy G, in the building, we're going to have some real issues. And I don't want Jordan Love in the Colts. I just don't want that.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is interesting. Like Mitchell Trubisky's his name's really been flying around. It's a weird, I don't really remember the last off season that things started in such crazy fashion,
Russell Wilson, I mean, that deal itself right there. I mean, I kind of freaked out in the moment, was like, dude, this is a championship team. He's a fantasy MVP. Like, shit's going to happen. This is over. But there is some serious fantasy implications out of that. I mean, Noah Fant is basically, in my opinion, like disgusting now. Even grosser than he already was.
Whoa.
So you're
not caught up. You're not caught up. Seattle is receiving Drew Lock, Noah Fant, Shelby Harris, 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and a 5th-round pick.
No, I know.
Oh, so you're saying
I'm nasty. Saying the fact that he's in Seattle paired up with Drew Lock and a tanking franchise that doesn't even value the tight end.
Okay, I was concerned. I thought you were saying he's nasty because he's going to be playing with Russell Wilson.
Oh, no, I meant like he's going to be god-awful.
Okay, that type of nasty.
Yeah. Like I think he is going to be like a total tanked asset. I feel bad for him, to be honest.
I do too. I think the Broncos want to roll with Albert. Okay, I don't know how to say his last name. And Albert I think he's very, very athletic. I think that'll be great for the Broncos. So it's tough because Noah Fant's actually done okay in the past with Drew Lock, but I don't disagree with you. Like it hurts Noah Fant 1,000%.
But But Kelvion jumps in here with a good question. Wonder what'll happen with the Broncos wide receivers.
They're
Where
gonna
will they
go
go?
up. They're gonna go
Yeah, I
up in
mean,
fantasy.
Russell Wilson likes the two outside guys the most. That's kind of what he hits. He likes those outside guys. I personally really like Cortland Sutton here. I do find that Cortland Sutton is like the true outside receiver for the Broncos.
Yeah.
But obviously Jerry Judy, I think he's probably the most athletic.
Judy.
Yeah, Judy boy is going to have a real chance to make a name for himself.
It's
Tim
Judy season.
Patrick is obviously there too, but
Oh yeah.
I mean, Tim's going to be used a shit ton, but
Oh,
I mean, I guess they are going to open it up more. This is going to be a higher passing volume team this year than they
dude,
were the
Javonte
past 2
Williams
years.
also.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
it's more like Javante and Melvin Gordon because
sure.
they're going to bring Melvin Gordon back.
Dude, this Broncos team is really interesting, and Von Miller might go back too for
Yeah,
whatever
what
that
the hell
matters.
is
But
that about, man?
for those of you guys participating tonight, we're gonna wait till about 8:15 to get kicked off with the mock draft. I'm gonna go ahead and randomize the order so you guys know where you're mock drafting from, and try and give everyone some time to get in here. Let's see. We got Kelvin in the building. Spence is in the building. Smoke at the Cat. What's up, man? Jerry, what's up, man? Guys, if you are in the chat tonight, or in the stream tonight, make sure to hop in the chat. Let us know what is going on.
Where am I?
So much to look at. Aaron Rodgers, going back to the Packers.
What were your thoughts about that, John? And I know Spencer over here is like drinking beer on beer on beer in celebration once that went down. He got his boy back in the building.
I was slightly surprised about a 4-year deal.
Yeah.
I thought maybe it'd be like a 2-year deal. I don't know, but I think it's fine. Let me know, Spence. You might know off the top of your head if there's a trade clause in there, like if he can opt out at a point and be traded to a team of his choice still. Because I don't know, it's just interesting. I mean, I like him the most on the Packers, right?
Yeah.
And with Devontae coming back, I think that's great too. And once again, thinking of fantasy implications, right? You can now safely draft Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
I think Aaron Jones,
AJ Dillon too.
Sure. MVS apparently is going to the Bears. Or the Bears really want to sign. It's the only thing
Why?
Only thing I've heard about the Bears in the offseason
Why?
is that they really want to sign MVS. So yeah, that's interesting. I guess Alan Lazard's still there, but man, they definitely have a chance to make a Super Bowl run. Like I still trust the Packers in that sense, but they don't. Are they going to be any different than last year? I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the problem too, because if anything, they're probably going to be worse because 2 years in a row now you make it to the NFC Championship and now you're super salary kind of restrained. And you got to wonder too, if A-Rod this entire time was just talking to his agent and was like, hey, there's this looming possibility that they're going to have to major underpay you. And so that's why he was like, I'm going to be walking, because now he just gets the mega deal and he's like, oh yeah, I'm going to stay. It's almost like he didn't even give a shit about the team situation. He just wanted to get the paper. But that's A-Rod,
So Adams is getting the franchise tag, but outside the Packers, David Njoku's getting the franchise tag for the Browns. Yeah. We got Mike Gesicki getting the franchise tag for the Dolphins. Orlando Brown, offensive tackle for the Chiefs. Dalton Schultz. Chris Godwin of the Bucks, which is a fantasy question we had. Where is Chris Godwin going to be playing next year? Who's going to be throwing him the ball? I don't know if he 100% knows he's going to be throwing him the football, but he will be a Buccaneer. And then Jesse Bates also for the Bengals getting a franchise tag as well. So it's interesting, right? Mike Gesicki staying with the Dolphins, very fantasy relevant. Dalton Schultz, to some degree, very fantasy relevant as well. So and then Mike Williams for the Chargers getting a contract extension. So just a lot of news.
Well, also one thing that hasn't happened quite yet, but is pretty imminent. Well, it's pretty imminent. Is Amari Cooper is going to be walking from Dallas. They're giving him his walking order soon. So we got to look at Amari Cooper. Obviously, his time in Dallas. It was always kind of a wow, that sucks type of deal. But for me, the biggest fantasy impact out of that is CeeDee Lamb might raise to like a totally new level. And Michael Gallup is who they're going to invest in. So Gallup now is a guy who, I mean, we've been doing some mock drafts, and Gallup falls basically like to the last 2 or 3 rounds. I think now Gallup is a very high quality asset because this is a number 2 for the Dallas team, in my opinion.
It is interesting. They kind of like they let their veteran receiver walk. They re-sign a guy who has nagging injuries. And then they like overpay Dalton Schultz, who had a good year last year.
Yeah.
So just Jerry Jones decisions for sure. But I agree with what you're saying. I already really liked CeeDee Lamb going into next year from a PPR standpoint.
He's gonna have
more now.
He's gonna have a huge year this year, man.
Yeah, I do think he's gonna have a good year.
I think it hurts the offense though, losing Amari Cooper, because he was the best overall receiver, I think, when fully healthy on that team. Sure. I think his ability was pretty nuts, especially getting over the top.
Sure.
But yeah, man, a lot of crazy shit. Did anything else happen?
I mean, we've got rumors. There's like some really strong rumors about Deshaun Watson going to the Steelers, but then I've also seen sources saying that that's completely untrue. Panthers and Seahawks and the Eagles also apparently in that mix. And this is interesting too, because apparently the Eagles made a strong trade offer for Russell Wilson, but he did not want to go to Philly. The Washington Commanders also did. But to me, it's just interesting that the Eagles are out there still in the mix for guys like Russell Wilson and Deshaun Watson, just showing no faith in my guy Jalen. I don't get it.
Well, he's great for fantasy, right? So
yeah, but
it's got to be great for everything.
That's true. That's true. He's, he has kind of underperformed. I can't disagree with that. Bobby Wagner.
Dude, yeah. Did you already sign him on a Madden team?
I will. Oh, big news. Big news, man. Joe Flacco is more than likely getting re-signed by the Jets.
Okay. All right. We can all rest easy.
Yeah. Biggest news. Biggest news.
We can all rest easy.
Yeah. All right. So we got very little green dots in the sleeper draft. So we'll see what happens here. Ron to go. What's up, bro? Wins back in poverty. All I could ask for. What's up, guys? What's up, man? Spencer had a good point that the 4-year, $200 million contract is not confirmed for Aaron Rodgers. And yeah, from what I've looked into, that is completely true, that the actual details have not come out. Jerry, can I draft for Senior Cinnabon? Well, we might need your help tonight. We might need your help tonight,
yeah, we got some blank dots.
We got some non-green dots, but hey, we'll have a good time. I mean, we have so much to discuss that we should be good either way. So I'll probably just kick off at 8:15 to keep us on schedule. And whatever happens. We'll have a good time tonight. We'll talk fantasy. We'll talk NFL through whatever type of mock draft we have either way, because we definitely have plenty we can touch on. There are some other little things, but nothing. I think we basically touched everything very quickly. We can definitely get back into anything that we want to. But
Jack Doyle retired from the Colts.
Jack Doyle did retire.
We didn't talk about that.
Alejandro Villaverneia, how do you say his name? From the Steelers. He retired as well.
Yeah, he retired. He was all right.
He's pretty good. Jack Doyle is definitely, I mean, for the Colts, it's a big deal, I guess. JC Jackson, obviously not getting the franchise tag from the Patriots and will hit free agency. So
yeah, that's pretty big.
A lot of teams out there in that mix for
classic
him.
Bill Belichick move, man. Not signing like a beast.
I'm not gonna pay you, man.
Ron. I mean, a lot of Ron's coming in here again. So Broncos receivers valuable for next season for fantasy. So yeah, I mean, I think that is going to be something that's like a major hot topic all fantasy off season. I think it was Spencer who said earlier it's going to be a Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods situation in Denver. Certainly hope that there's any sort of Cooper Kupp vibe going on in Denver next year, but it's going to be pretty nuts.
Yeah, I definitely like Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy and even Tim Patrick, especially in deeper leagues, right? Yeah. And Jerry brings up a good point as well. What happens to Lockett and DK? Do their values go down? I think so. I mean, now apparently
Majorly.
Seattle's in the mix for maybe a guy like Deshaun Watson or trying to make their own type of trade. So at the moment, yes, it could change, but and who knows? Maybe they could get traded the way things are going or released.
Yeah.
Kelvion, if someone doesn't join as chat picking, yeah, we'll let you guys get in here for sure. Is DK a late round pick now? Whew. At the moment, I would value him at. I mean, he's still the wide receiver one on that team, no matter what, right? But I would value him in the 3rd round right now.
Still right, 3rd round. Wow.
I mean, yeah, I'm going to start the draft.
I mean, it's kind of tough until you start rolling with it to like really understand. But it's like if they don't get a quarterback in the draft and they don't get something that's like really good in free agency, it's going to be pretty hard to think that DK is going to be that guy. But at the end of the day, you know, Derrick Henry is going to be that guy. 101 off the board.
There you go. King Henry. All right, so RIP Mamba 24, I don't think is in the building.
Definitely roll with JT here. I think that's the obvious pick.
I think it's got to be JT as well. Let's get that. Oh, sorry, my draft was making a noise.
So Spencer saying, Steven, I'll trade my pick for yours. I don't know if I'm going to go ahead and do that, Spence. I think last year when we had Sleeper Catch Fam, I actually traded that 12th pick to you. So there's no way in hell I'm trading that 12th pick to Spencer, ever. I got a particular strategy I'm rolling with here, too, so I hope nobody screws it up.
Crap, dude, I'm on the board.
Najee Harris, JT. I'm like really starting to. I was watching like this game log of Najee Harris the other day. It was like an old game film of the Steelers, and he is a beast, dude. So is Austin Eckler.
Yeah. Ron the GOAT, with an interesting point here. JT's value doesn't go anywhere, right? He didn't really depend on wins. 100%.
Yeah.
JT's fine with or without wins in my eyes.
Yeah, I think JT, if anything, it's going to get better because I think the Colts will get better. Although, you know, you also have to look at it as the year he had last season was pretty absurd.
He'll have natural regression, but
yeah,
it's pretty easy to say he is the most valuable running back going into next season.
So Spencer's taking Cooper Kupp before Adams.
I mean, once again, right? Like natural regression. But if you draft Cooper Kupp, you're going to feel very, very safe. But at the same time, the point that you're probably looking at there is Cook and McCaffrey are off the board here. Is that Spencer is definitely a Packers fan and probably has pretty high faith in Devontae Adams. All right, chat, we might need you. I don't think Bossman Fat is in the building. Let's see. Let me go to Flex. I'll just go to all. We got Kamara, Adams, Hill, Barkley, Diggs, Justin Jefferson, Zeke.
There's a lot of buzz on Saquon Barkley being traded too. That could be crazy. That could be crazy.
Jerry, make sure, Jerry, you can do an honorary pick here.
Yeah.
You got a minute and 20 seconds.
Kelvin and Devontae Adams. Yeah, I think Adams makes a lot of sense here, to be honest.
Yeah. Jerry says Adams. Kelvin says Adams. Adams, it is. And I think it makes perfect sense.
Jerry also says, should we expect a career year for Mike Williams or weeks 1 to 4 Mike Williams? Yeah. I don't think
weeks 1 through 4 are great.
Yeah. Well, I don't think anything is going to be at Mike Williams. I will never draft him.
So from what I've seen, a big reason why they wanted to re-sign him is because him and Justin Herbert have really good chemistry, and they think that he has helped Herbert's progression and will continue to help it as a security blanket, if nothing else. So I'm good with that reasoning, but it's just the way it is now. I mean, so you're going to have to pay these guys a lot of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether they're wide receiver 1 value or not. All right, let's see. Jerry says to draft Hill. We'll go Hill next.
Oh, and you jerk, Jerry.
Kelvin, you can do this next pick.
Oh, Jerry, man, I am so mad at Jerry right now, dude.
If
Oh,
his ceiling is weeks 1 through 4, then I don't see why not. Yeah, like I don't personally really have a problem taking Mike Williams, dependent on where you're drafting him. In later rounds, especially in deeper leagues, I don't have a problem with Mike Williams, but I don't think he'll necessarily have a career year, mainly because this past year was his contract year and he needed to have a career year. As Kevin says, to take JJ off the board. Man, I love me some Justin Jefferson. And don't get me wrong, this was probably Mike Williams' best season. But it just didn't feel like your typical career year. Steven takes the first tight end off the board and Alvin Kamara off
yep.
the board. And we're back to we'll let Jerry do a pick here.
So, John, another guy here that's getting a lot of trade rumors, which I don't think is actually going to happen, but he's a guy that went here in the first round. Christian McCaffrey, a lot of buzz that he's going to be out, but they're going to expect a first round and another player. And honestly, like, how, if you're the Panthers, is that fair for you? Like, you're trading Christian McCaffrey, and all you're expecting back is a first round pick and a player. Like, what are you going to do with that? Like, Christian McCaffrey is your entire team. I don't think that's enough value.
Ooh.
I mean, and that would, in terms of fantasy output, I mean, that would just tank.
Sorry,
Completely
Jerry.
tank.
Jerry, if you need to see any positions, let me know. Yeah. Diggs it is. Diggs and Jefferson. Interesting combo.
It's a nice combo.
The former and the latter. All right, Kelvion, you got the pick here, brother. I don't think CMC is going to get traded, but I will say if the Panthers can't land a quarterback of value, then maybe they should just let him go somewhere else and have a chance on a winning football team,
Yeah.
We're on the go. Didn't Gesicki get tagged? He did. Kelvion says, Chase, we are getting some stud receivers wiped off the board.
Yeah, I know. There's gonna be like no wide receivers left, bro. I'm really freaking out right now. I did take Travis Kelce, and how often do I talk shit about taking a tight end in the first round?
Yeah. I saw some crazy stats about Travis Kelce, and I think it was the most games with 100 receiving yards or more by a tight end over like the last 6 years in the NFL. And he was number one by like miles.
Oh, really?
Miles. Yeah. Like just consistency, man. Consistency.
Yeah.
We're on the go. Seems he could carry a backfield. They should be asking for the farm in exchange for him. Yeah. I think Steven's right. When healthy, we know what he can do. And I really do hope that CMC has that type of year, man. I do.
Yeah.
Spencer, can y'all chill? Is going to do double wide receiver. I don't know anymore.
You can't. And if you want one, you got to take it now. You might have to take DK Metcalf now because you're not gonna have much else to have.
I don't think Bossman Fat's in the building. Oh, Supersized Senpai, what's up, bro? Trust me, the man still has gas in the tank. Let's see here. Bossman Fat.
Is that gas $5?
Yeah. I'll let you guys do a pick here. Honorary catch fan pick.
Zeke and Chubb still on the board. Joe Mixon still on the board. That slipped big time.
My guy, Joe Mixon.
I actually didn't see that, so now I feel really stupid because I was just looking at. Oh man,
Spencer's spamming Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. Yeah,
here, Joe Mixon. Since Supersized Senpai just joined, and since Bossman Fat is a Cowboys fan, and Supersized is a Cowboys fan, we'll take Zeke off the board.
Okay, you got to take Joe Mixon here because I know John wants him. No,
there's no way Joe Mixon's lasting to me.
How is Joe Mixon still available? This receiver run is incredible.
We've got other players not named Joe Mixon selected. That's why.
Oh, there he went. But
yeah, goodbye,
you got
Joe Mixon.
Nick Chubb and Saquon too. I mean, Saquon is probably going to fall to the third. I would say.
I feel like Saquon could actually be a decent fantasy sleeper next year.
Yeah, there's
Like
gonna be a lot.
Nick Chubb is another guy that I'm really not understanding the hate for. You
Yeah,
know, maybe I haven't given him enough love myself, but Nick Chubb is still going to be that guy next year.
he just doesn't get the credit because he's not like a PPR guy, and so I think
Yeah.
people talk down on him, but he is still super productive. Wow, that was a tremendous back to back by Spencer right there.
Yeah, I had a strong feeling that that's who Spencer was going to take, and I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie, it is who I would have taken if Spencer did not take him.
that was pretty nuts right there. Wow, that was good. Impressive, Spencer. That was a good start here. Um, that was a good start. I
Steven's
like
really,
I
really
like
giving
Josh
me.
Allen going in the second round too. That first quarterback went early, which is never good for the quarterback run.
It isn't. It isn't.
I like your
Ooh,
CD Lamb pick there. The most fantasy related thing to all the action that just broke. Aaron
yeah.
Jones, second round pick.
There are a
I
lot
like
of.
that.
I looked at running backs there too. A lot of running backs that I like, but I just feel like CeeDee Lamb is probably the last receiver that I feel comfortable with being like a true wide receiver one for me.
Yeah.
So I felt like there's a little bit more depth at running back and not as much depth at true wide receiver one value there. So I went with the guy, CeeDee Lamb. See what happens.
Don't you have like this sense of like calmacy now, or like you feel better about everything now because you've got a little bit more certainty about what is going to happen with all these players and these teams? I mean, guys like Aaron Jones, like I was literally so out on him because of this Aaron Rodgers shit.
Yeah, he's a
Uh,
steal at the end of the second, man.
yeah, and now if you get Aaron Jones at the end of the second, like that's an absolute locked and loaded steal. Um, so yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of shit that happened there. I mean, it's pretty crazy.
Absolutely. I mean, it's good. I mean, we can
Yeah,
start to get after the draft. We're gonna have a really strong sense of these teams as a whole
yeah.
and how to evaluate them from a fantasy perspective. As we have been evaluating these teams from a fantasy perspective to the best of our abilities over the past couple of weeks, I mean, it'll
Mhm.
start to really, really clear up to some degree. So I'm excited for it, man.
And
Excited
did
for it.
you? I know it's a little preemptive. I might wait a little bit to go deeper into it until some of these rookies get picked in this draft board. But one of the things at the scouting combine that was kind of funny is apparently like all the 40s were like basically fudged.
I
Like
saw that.
it was all basically fake. So like everybody was running like insane times, and it's basically all full of shit.
Well, okay, I saw that they were just recorded incorrectly. So like
Yeah,
everyone had like at least what 0.1 added to their time, which
yeah,
is
but it's
significant.
and it's up to like 0.5. So like, dude,
Okay.
like some of these dudes, like Jordan Davis, for instance, who ran like a 3.8 or whatever, and he's like 400 pounds. Like, I mean, he's gonna get drafted at such a higher pick now, and his 40 probably wasn't entirely true. I mean, he's still a freak athlete, but
Sure.
um, it's just kind of crazy. Like the NFL really botched this whole combine in general. I mean, setting it in prime hours, which like jacked up with a lot of the players, and a lot of players opted out of a bunch of the drills. It's just they did really weird, just trying to get more ratings, and I think it worked out terribly for them.
Per usual.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see here. I thought this was interesting. Mike Gesicki's snaps by alignment 2021. Backfield 24, slot 402, wide 218, tight 140. So apparently there's rumors he's going to try and fight to get the wide receiver franchise tag, which is more money than the tight end franchise tag.
Yeah.
Last season, Cooper Kupp lined up in the tight position 22.4% of the time, where Mike Gesicki lined up in it 17.9% of the time. This is interesting. Shout
Yeah.
out to my guy, Mike G. You know I love him.
It's smart
So,
move.
yeah. Ooh, Patty Mahomes off the board here. Hey, we got Mamba in the building. Looks like some of you guys getting in here. Just try to get you guys, let the Catch fam draft some of you guys, get you guys started there. What happens if a player opts out from doing a workout at the combine or like a team workout?
Yeah. So I mean, if somebody opts out of doing like a certain drill at the combine, it's nothing. I mean, you kind of see it all the time, but usually like they'll opt out of a drill and then they'll do it at their pro day or whatever, or sometimes they'll just opt out completely.
Yeah.
But
It
I mean, yeah, go ahead.
well, it doesn't really make a difference nowadays. It used to be like I would say maybe like what 5 to 10 years ago, if you opted out, it was like almost kind of shameful, like you were
Yeah,
presenting
yeah,
yourself
yeah.
poorly.
You were
And then
shamed for it.
like over the last couple of years, for example, like Lamar Jackson was just straight up like, I'm not attending the combine. I'm not doing any drills at all. And I
Yeah,
don't care what you guys think about it.
yeah.
And he didn't even have an agent. I think his mom like made the phone call for him. And obviously, maybe that hurt his draft value. He went pretty late, what 31 overall.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's still worked out, right?
There's Brees Hall going, first rookie
Yeah,
off the board. This is a dude who lit up the combine and was already the number one fantasy back coming out of the draft this year. I really do think Brees Hall is going to be somebody that is drafted high this year. And I'm excited for him. I don't know if I'd take him in the third round, but again, it really does depend on where he lands. There we go. A. Gibson
in
popping in
honor
here.
of Commander Carson.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Commander Carson and Antonio Gibson. I can't
let's
wait to see it
go.
here in the DMV.
Duo of the century. Had to do it. I know Spencer was eyeing Antonio Gibson there. Did you hear about Deion Sanders needing to have his toe amputated? I did. He had 2 toes amputated. Yes.
Brutal. Brutal.
Yes. Supersized. That is true. Yeah. Uh, I did hear that. It is.
That's a humbling experience.
Yeah, I think he'll be able to walk and everything, but for the former greatest cornerback of all time,
Yeah.
who is still extremely athletic, it probably will. He won't be jumping around those high school practices the same way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it sucks, I guess, for
Yeah.
Dion. Shout out to our
Yeah.
guy
I don't
Dion.
want I don't want to lose my toes anytime.
No,
So I do
no.
feel bad for him there.
Yeah. Let's see here. We got AJ Brown and Jalen Waddle off the board. Spencer went after Cam Akers. Lots
I
of
like
good
Waddle.
picks going here. Oh, we got to get a catch fam selection here. Boss Man Fat has a receiver in Devontae Adams and Ezekiel Elliott.
It's a good team.
It is a good little start here. So you guys let us know. Literally, whoever makes the next selection, I will pick.
Have we killed Tom Brady off of the sleeper app yet? Is he still on here?
We should. I don't know. Calvin says show wide receiver. There you go.
Hopkins still on the board. Terry McLaurin, I think, is going to get a bump with Carson Wentz coming in now. I think Carson Wentz does hyper target receivers, as we saw with Michael Pittman.
I do actually like Jerry beat you guys to it. He says take Kittle.
Let's get it.
Whoever
like
it was a game of speed. Sorry, Kelvin.
I like that.
I mean, look at Michael Pittman's past year, right? Like it is obvious that Carson Wentz can target a number one receiver, right? So I do think that Terry McLaurin will be okay.
Yeah.
But he has not had the best luck at the quarterback position. All right, Kelvin, you're up, man. Mayday 27's got Hill and Chase. It's your selection, my man.
I miss not having Jerry in here, man. Jerry, it's not the same.
It's not. Well, Jerry is here. He's always here.
I know.
Yeah. Supersize Senpai, what position do you guys target for the flex on average? I would say, not to speak for Steven, but I think generally speaking, we both try to have a third running back we can deploy. Mm-hmm. But I will say, moving into this season, as we're going to go ahead and take Montgomery off the board here, I am looking to be a little bit heavier at the receiver position overall.
Yeah, I think in past years it was always load up at RB, but we're just seeing a very dramatic shift to emphasize the wide receiver spot. And if you can get some elite receivers, that can really separate your team. So it is a little bit of the flavor of your choice and also league format. But I think, with how some of this shit has shaken out with the free agency and everything, there's still going to be more free agent or more running backs than I thought originally this season. Like a lot of people, because of the uncertainty, I was down on. And now I feel like the running backs are actually more attractive. And the fact that Leonard Fournette might leave Tampa and go to a team like Miami and be the sole back, Gordon might leave and be the sole back. I mean, there's James Conner might leave and be a sole back somewhere. There's a lot of guys that, if they can be the sole back, that is more powerful at a flex spot than a receiver that's going to be like a wide receiver 2 or 3.
Sure.
So that's kind of how I would take on it. But yeah, I think ultimately you got to start shifting to the receiver a little bit more and more.
We need a pick for King Meh 23. We've got 40 seconds.
Barkley.
Probably shouldn't be a receiver. Jerry says Barkley. I was thinking Barkley too, but whenever
I like Barkley.
Do a manual set out of desperation, you guys are like, "Oh, that's you, John." John's just not picking someone he wants. Anyways, let's see. Jerry and Spencer saying that the pictures of Deion Sanders not looking too good. Besides Senpai, the shift from running back to receiver is exactly why I asked. I think especially in like free agency throughout, or maybe not waiver wire, throughout the year, you've got to look at running backs. You've got to look at handcuff situations. You've got to pick up running backs based off of injuries, even if it's, a 2-week thing. If Austin Eckler goes down, if Derrick Henry goes down, if Christian McCaffrey goes down, Dalvin Cook goes down, whatever it may be, right? Using running backs at the flex position, I still think should be part of your strategy. But I almost think drafting receivers is a little bit safer, in later rounds, that is, right? But we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I think this past year, it was more valuable to have late round receivers than it was to have late round running backs for the most part. But yeah, you brought up James Conner, man. And that is one fantasy question that I don't have answered that I really want answered, by the way. Yep. Let's see here. Jerry and Kelvion, we need you. And Supersize Senpai, anyone who's in the chat who is not actively drafting, we need you guys, okay? First player up. Whoever gets put in the chat first for King Meh, Mayday, and Bossman Fats teams. It's up to you guys.
Oh, geez, there's some bad photos going around about Deion's leg. Jeez, I feel terrible for the guy.
Yeah. Dude, I saw a video of Deion Sanders in the locker room for his high school team, and he caught someone on their phone, and it was like terrifying. Yeah. Yeah, I would not want to be one of those players.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm going to go to running back because the leagues I'm in are 16-18 man leagues. Running back gets super thin. Yeah, if you're in a deeper league, you got to go running back. You have to. All right, I'm going to set a player because so we got 2 receivers, a running back.
Let's go. Yeah,
quarterback.
Way off the board.
All right, honorary pick. Got a minute and 53 seconds. If you guys don't put a player out there, I'll let Steven do the next pick. Because apparently I only take players off the board that I do not want. Blood clots are no joke. That's 100% true. Yeah, 100% true. Would you guys have the Hall of Fame football career if it meant that you would lose part of your leg and 2 of your toes?
That's a good question. I love posing questions like this to people. Show running backs, by the way, John, for Jerry. I don't know if I would do that if it meant the legs, but I will say 2 toes for the career that Deion had. I would think very hard about that one. I mean, I've got a couple toes that give me some real problems in the toenail department. I always have to pick them, and then I get lazy and I leave them. And they get left over places, and you're always tempted to take a bite, but you don't actually bite them. You just throw them away. But I don't need to dive deep into the toe game. But maybe I would get rid of a couple toes for an NFL career.
Oh, Mayday's in the building. What's up, bro?
JK jumping on. I like that pick. Nice pick there.
Yeah, if I was Deion Sanders, I'd probably lose 2 toes. If that's
Okay.
all I had to give up.
But what
Yeah.
about the leg? Would you give up the leg?
Not the whole leg. Whole leg is a whole
Okay.
different story.
Okay.
But 2 toes to be Deion Sanders. I have Deion Sanders' career now. Yeah.
I think I would do
Damn you, John, or Mayday. I thought that was John.
that.
Yeah. J.K. Dobbins, a good pick there, man. Good pick.
I almost took him there instead of Keenan Allen.
Okay.
Do you? I feel like now I'm going to be real weak at the RB spot. But what are your thoughts on Keenan Allen? I mean, he is always a very stable option at the receiver spot. He's never going to give you a ton, but don't you just feel like Justin Herbert has still like a level up that he can get to? And if he can
Sure.
get there, like Keenan Allen can be like a mega star for fantasy.
Yeah. I mean, I think the thing you're going to get out of Keenan Allen is just extreme consistency. So
Yeah.
getting him at the top of the fourth is a great value.
Yeah.
Getting him after the third is a great value. I just think names like Jalen Waddle, AJ Brown, probably a little bit hotter right now. So
Yeah.
he'll probably fade a little bit,
Yeah.
kind of like guys like Hopkins and Evans are fading too. So
Hopkins is fading big time. I'm not sure if that's totally fair, to be honest, because of how much they rely on him when he's healthy.
sure.
Kyler loves him some DeAndre Hopkins.
Jerry says to take CH off the board. Oh, Tyler, you took my boy.
Oh, the T to the Higster.
You took my boy, T. Higgins. That is another point from Terry McLaurin in the middle of the fourth is just ridiculous.
I would definitely take care of McLaurin over T. Higgins.
But Mike Williams getting that massive contract, T. Higgins is going to get a more massive contract.
Speaking of the only person on a team, Kyle Pitts, the only person left on the Atlanta Falcons. That is a messy situation down there in Atlanta.
I think we might see the departure of Matt Ryan. It's possible.
They should just get rid of him at this point. I mean, they're literally just setting him up to dry. He's going to get like destroyed next year.
Are people really this worried for DK? It is interesting because he played some pretty good games with Geno Smith at quarterback.
He played well too. That is actually a really good point you're bringing up right now, John. DK Metcalf was pretty damn decent with Geno Smith. I mean, it'd be interesting to see those exact weeks. But I know that he still had some big play upside to him. And Geno Smith is awful. Shout out Geno.
Shout out to Geno, bro. It's our guy. Running back's getting really thin here.
Yeah, not good.
I didn't even realize. It's a good point, Jerry. Yeah, DK's still hanging around. I mean, well, there he goes. Usually it happens when we start the chat over players still hanging around. But Chris Godwin, another guy who's still sitting here, kind of in a similar predicament, right? Where we know he's going to be the wide receiver one, but we're just worried. Like, who is throwing in the football?
I think it's going to probably end up being like Kyle Trask or somebody.
Kyle Trask, the man, the myth.
Yeah.
The one and only.
He's something.
There ain't many like him. But you're probably right. Do you guys agree or disagree with the Ridley suspension? I mean, I agree with it in the sense that every player in the NFL, every single season has this jammed down their throat that it's against NFL policy for them to do it, and he still did it, Do I think the players should be able to bet on games? I'm going to lean no, because it can absolutely sway. I mean, it's no different than a ref being able to bet on a game to some degree, right? I mean, actually, it's probably worse because if you're betting, if you're Calvin Ridley and you're betting that the Falcons are going to lose plus 1,500 and then you just don't run your routes all day, So, I agree with it. But I will also make the point to play devil's advocate that, we have X, Y, and Z players, people in organizations, like look at some of the stuff about the Cowboys that's come out during this offseason. Look at the Washington Commanders personnel, right? Who are doing far worse things
Yeah.
than gambling,
Yeah.
and they're
Yeah.
getting a slap on the wrist. So
Yeah.
there's plenty of problems within the NFL, but at the end of the day, for Calvin Ridley, he knows the rules and he broke them.
Yeah.
And I would say I agree with it. Yeah. Spencer, I would have picked DK, but I got 2 top 8 receivers. Yeah. Your team is looking pretty solid, my guy. Pretty solid. Who's the better career, Gino or Kalo? Who's Kalo?
Gino. I don't know, but it's Gino. I see actually Steelers 8519 in sleeper commented I think it was in sleeper commented Hawkinson or Herbert. Who would you take here, John? I mean, obviously 2 different flavors. So you got
Whew.
quarterback and you got tight end.
You were stacked at running back.
Yeah.
Um
Actually loaded at running back.
Well, there goes Deontay Johnson. So I guess that's the Emily, what are your guys' thoughts on the Deshaun Watson situation? I do think he'll be on a team going into this season. I do. And I think it's
the Texans.
Probably won't be the Texans. Yeah.
I don't know.
Don't know.
I'm interested in Spencer's pick. He said it's going to be an absolute steal. I'm thinking it's going to be, let's see, looking at the.
Take Godwin off the board. I'm not scared of Godwin.
Good. Don't be scared of him. It's going to be like, who's Spencer going to take here? It's an absolute steal.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have seen that one going. I should have seen that going.
Yeah. Yeah. In terms of the Deshaun Watson situation, what are my thoughts? It's not a good situation at all. But once again, he'll be able. He got a year taken away from his career. So if we're comparing it to Ridley, I guess it was a little bit over a year, right? But
he hasn't played in a brick, man.
Yeah, he'll be able to play though. So I meant to say Jordan Love. Who's had the better career? Probably Geno Smith, if we're looking statistically.
Yeah, Jordan Love hasn't even had a career. I mean, Jordan Love. Yeah. I hate when people get so obsessed with like intangibles, like, oh, this guy could be this, and they don't actually look at like what he does. And it's just like, Jordan Love, come on, man. Like, gotta have fun, or I see Spencer over here saying fun, but you gotta kind of look at a quarterback position a little bit different than just intangibles. I mean, so much more goes into it. I'm a little nervous that Jordan Love is going to get the Colts, and that's why I'm freaking out.
I was about
suck. That would suck.
What are your real thoughts about a potential Jordan Love acquisition by the Colts? By the way, chat, we need help picking for Bossman Fat and King Meh. So
the running back spot is brutally low right now.
Is DK on the board? No.
Okay, he's gone. Calvin Ridley is still available.
DK got picked in the 4th, Jerry. We got Michael Thomas, Allen Robinson, who's supposedly going to hit the free agent market. If not, pick Moore. DJ Moore it is.
I like that pick.
Yeah, Steven, look, you could get Jordan Love and you could get Allen Robinson on the Colts.
I would love Allen Robinson. I would be so happy. You would hear me. I'd go to a rooftop and I'd be like, "Hey, Rob!" And I would just scream as loud as I could. And then I would be 5 weeks into it, I'd be super upset because I'd be saying Jordan Love throw interceptions on attempts to Allen Robinson where he doesn't run his route fully. It's just a full repeat cycle of being a Colts fan about constantly just being disappointed. It's all good though. It's all good. I'm not too upset about it.
So, from the perspective of a Colts fan, is the Carson Wentz trade for the best in the long run?
Yeah, 100%. It's the best right now in general, just getting that toxic piece of trash out of the locker room. But I just think we need to be really smart about how we build from here. I think this whole idea that we can just keep taking bridge quarterbacks and investing a shit ton of capital into them and just use them like randomly is a problem. I actually think if we could somehow land Jimmy Garoppolo, like that's a guy we could actually build around and win with. like for years. You know, you can talk as much shit about Jimmy G as you want. He's a pretty bad fantasy asset, but in terms of winning ball games, the guy's a winner in San Francisco. The guy's a winner in New England. The guy's just a flat out winner, and I want him a part of the Colts because he doesn't turn the ball over.
Steven wants Jimmy G. I never thought I'd hear this day.
Yeah, it's a pretty rough one. Oh wow, so is the running back market. Holy shit!
Yeah, Spencer is cooking you for.
Holy shit! This is rough.
They got Kamara to lead you. You know.
Oh shit! This is dark.
I mean, you got your boy Miles Sanders available, right? Yeah.
This is really dark, man. Do I have to draft Miles Sanders?
Draft whoever you want. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
Fuck! I'm so scared, bro. I'm so scared. I'm tripping out right now, man.
So I saw a rumor that, according to sources, the year that the Eagles won the Super Bowl, when Carson Wentz was injured, that Carson Wentz reportedly consistently complained that the Eagles were winning without him starting.
Really?
Yeah.
I could definitely I could definitely see that being the case. I think that Carson, when he was at North Dakota, he got so used to being like the star and got so used to just being like everything's about him. And then when he went to Philly, it had like, and honestly, man, like that's not to like really say that like what happened to Carson was like easy. Like what happened to him was brutal, but he ended up making that like a career defining moment.
Sure.
Like you got to bounce back from that if you're going to be an NFL quarterback. And he just let the moment define him.
Sure. All right, I'm going to go and set a player here so we can keep moving, but I don't know who. Oh, Steven, you pick.
Yeah. All right. I think that, let's see here. We got Michael Thomas, Kyler Murray, Saquon Barkley, and Stephon Diggs. Go to the running back market real quick. I think he's going to need one. Yeah. Isaiah Spiller is probably the best name here outside of Melvin Gordon, Damian Harris. Let's see here. You know what? Why don't we go with Damian Harris?
I like Damian Harris like quite a bit going
Yeah.
in. I saw some crazy stats
Yeah.
around what he did last season.
I almost took him.
Yeah. I mean, really, still top 15 running back in PPR and standard, though. Top 8, top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he scored a lot of touchdowns last season.
And you got to imagine the Patriots offense is going to be.
touchdowns?
Yeah.
I really didn't realize. I thought it was like 10.
The Patriots offense is going to be better next year. You got to expect it. Mac Jones is going to be improved. And I think Damian Harris, if he's healthier next season, he's going to be better next year. We can expect more production from him. I don't think we should expect him to fall off as we see Hawkinson jumping off the board right there.
Our boy TJ.
I got to expect them. The tight end market available is pretty thin. Dallas Goedert, Noah Trash, and Rob retired Owski.
Yeah, it does hurt things. With Russell gone, does this open up more opportunities for Carson, maybe Penny or Collins? The interesting thing is, over like the past 2 years for the Seahawks, even with Russell Wilson there, they've consistently wanted to run the football. Like that's been part of the rumors of why Russell Wilson's been unhappy. So I think it probably does, but I don't know if it's going to be any more than we've already seen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the interesting thing about the Seahawks right now is that they are like going into a rebuilding mode, but they retained Pete Carroll, who's 70 years old.
Yeah. That was weird. I feel bad for him, man. That guy's like in a nursing home during the week and then coming out during the weekend.
Dude, I don't know. He's pretty jumpy.
He's pretty spry. He looks more spry than me.
He's like up there with Sean McVay, like in terms of his sideline antics. So
yeah.
We at the point being, we know that he will run the football, right? That's what he likes to do.
Tight end goes.
Mike G is off the board.
I see. Spencer's the Miles Sanders shattered link comment. Actually, it's hilarious. That is a dreadful pick. Oh, I like that. Justin Herbert going there. The
I
team's
do
pretty
think
solid.
that the Seahawks running back situation is pretty interesting. Looking at next season, though.
Can't you also see like Chris Carson not being back, Rashawn
Sure.
Penny not being back, and then the Seahawks just go out and draft a running back and they just make him like the superstar of Seattle? Like I think whoever is running the rock for Seattle is going to be used a ton next year because they don't have Russell Wilson. And like you were getting at, they want to run the football as much as possible.
That's an interesting point. I really don't know what the Seahawks are going to do. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's hard to predict right now because we don't know if they're shifting to a full rebuild, a slight rebuild. We don't know if they're going to cut, trade, all that stuff. We don't know what's going to happen during the NFL draft. So it's kind of hard to predict right now, but I don't think that that's a bad thesis, you know?
John, I don't know if you've caught more up to speed with like the rookies just after the combine and everything, but I know you've heard me talk about the Liberty kid, Malik Willis, and there, this guy originally, I mean, at first there was going to be no quarterback that was worth taking in the first round, right? And then the inevitable push up on these quarterbacks just because they're a quarterback. There are now a ton of reports out there that Malik Willis is going to be a top 3 pick. The Detroit Lions are going to take him that early. And like for me personally, if I'm on the Seattle Seahawks, that's a great pick for me right there. Is take Malik Willis if he's available. Let's just build around him, see if that can do anything for us, but at least bridge us to next year. But man, it's just crazy. He might not even be
Well,
there.
it's like what happens every single year with quarterbacks. Like the closer and closer the draft comes, the more and more their draft stock goes up. And yeah, I
Yeah,
did see that come out after the combine. He had a really good combine, and not
yeah.
just from like an athletic standpoint, but from a personality and
Mhm.
character standpoint as well.
And he lit
Um,
up the Senior Bowl. He
yeah,
lit up the Senior Bowl. Was the best quarterback there.
and being
Liberty.
40, 45 minutes away from Liberty now, I was technically enrolled there for a semester. I have to say,
Your fellow
pretty,
alumni, bro. You're gonna
yeah,
see him at a alumni
yeah,
reunion
I
one
am.
day.
I'm proud of the man. So, yeah, but really, is there any other quarterback that you think will fall potentially within the top 5?
Well, into the top 5.
Yeah, like, do you think that it's possible that
Another quarterback got picked there.
by by the time that the draft comes around, that we're going to see another quarterback sneak into
No,
that conversation? Okay,
no, 100% no.
because it
I,
just
I can't
feels
say
like
100%, but no.
it's just like that's almost what always happens, you know.
Yeah, and I,
And
and I think the Seahawks might end up with if Malik Willis does get taken by the Lions, which I think would be an awful mistake because I think Jared Goff
you
really
can
was
win with Jared
really did a
Goff.
good job for Detroit and proved that. I mean, dude, the shittiest situation he got put in and he held in there. I think he was a really good leader last year. And you're not going to win next season. So why don't you just tank for the better quarterbacks that are coming out of the draft next season?
Sure.
But no, Sam Howell is a guy that I've heard some rumors about going to Seattle at that spot now, the North Carolina kid, who I think could actually be pretty productive with that Seattle offense. That's the one thing, right? Like, if you're one of these rookies who isn't too good now, you wind up in a Seattle offense with DK Metcalf, Pete Carroll, Lockett. Like, that's a pretty good spot to be at as a rookie quarterback. And
Sure.
Seattle is a winning organization, a winning city. Definitely could be in worse spots. And that's the other thing. I don't think Seattle is going to go complete rebuild because that city has not been in a bad winning environment in a long time. Like last year was a bad situation for them.
You think that the 12th man still exists?
I do. I mean, I would still love to see a game in person in Seattle, and I still think that there's a lot of pride in Seattle. Honestly, I think Russell Wilson's been very fortunate that he gets to go from Seattle, which has an amazing fan base, all the way into Denver, which also has an amazing fan base. Seeing games in Denver, I mean, those guys are crazy. So, um,
So apparently, Denver was Russell Wilson's number one choice.
I don't believe that for a second.
Okay. Okay.
You don't think he wanted to go somewhere warmer and nicer?
I have no idea what Russell Wilson wants.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like mine would have been Tampa Bay if I were him.
Okay. Jerry says
Not sure.
stop scrolling. Let's see here. Does that make Collins and Penny late round picks? I don't mind Penny. I don't really have Collins in the conversation, but in terms of trying to get, especially with, if how thin running back gets in fantasy and as quickly as it does, right? I don't mind Penny just because we saw what he can do at the end of this last season, right? And we know that Pete Carroll's always loved Rashad Penny. So
yeah,
I don't mind Penny. I'm not crazy about Collins though.
Nice pick there, Spencer, with Elijah Moore and Singletary. The pick before that, I didn't even see when that happened live.
Didn't even see it live, but yeah, man, it feels good. Like we've gotten a lot of fantasy speculation out of the way for the most part. I just want to know where James Conner is going to be next season, man.
Russell Wilson still going after Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert. So yeah, that's a good question, John. I mean, I'm pretty high on Russell Wilson next year, but do you think Russell Wilson deserves to be a top 5 quarterback next year, a top 6 quarterback? Because obviously last year he was pretty awful. He was pretty awful last year.
Well, he was hurt. I mean, he had some good games too, especially towards the end of the season too. And really, he wasn't that bad. I mean, you look at the starting run, right? 27, 23, 16 against Minnesota, then 21, then the game where he got hurt, just 10 points. Then after that, he had typical Russell Wilson fashion, a 7-point game, a 6-point game, then 16 plus, 16 to 20, 5-point game, 16, 27, 24. So
yeah,
I don't think that's really that different than how he usually plays. I mean, he usually has like a 41 and 34-point game sprinkled in there too, but he usually has like 3 games a season where he scores like under 8 fantasy points. So last year was definitely the worst year to own Russell Wilson as a fantasy manager. So I don't necessarily disagree with you, but I think he's like within this draft, I think he's right where he should be. Like Josh Allen, Patty Mahomes, Kyler Murray, Herbert, Jackson. I'm fine with all of those guys being taken before him. Without a doubt.
Who was taken who's still available? Joe Burrow went after him, I guess, right? Which I would do that.
Dak Prescott, A-Rod, and Hurts. Like I could see any of those guys going before him as well.
Yeah.
But if they went before or after him, I think he's right in that tier. Let's see. So Bossman Fat has a quarterback and a tight end. So let's give him a flex that doesn't suck.
Lockett's
questionable now.
You could go Allen Robinson as a free agent.
Oh God, we got to pick someone. Steven says Robinson, so it's Steven's decision.
I would have taken the A-Rob. I mean, at some point here. But I saw Spencer say Singletary over Connor and Sanders. Yeah, I mean, I'll say this, like in a real draft, I don't think I would ever actually take Sanders. I just couldn't do it because of my hatred for him. But Connor, I would take probably over Devin Singletary still at this point. I think it's close. But, I mean, John, weigh in on this. But Devin Singletary proved a lot to me. Yes. But he still hasn't proven to me that he's the number 1 back going into a season. And are we to expect that this Bills offense is going to rely on him again like that next year? I'm just not sure if we're there yet.
I don't trust the Bills offense. I do trust Devin Singletary if he's given the opportunity. I don't trust that he's going to be given the opportunity.
Yeah.
But as like a RB3 or 4, I really do like him. So like in looking at Spencer's team where he is the RB3 and you're already being led by a lot of firepower at the receiver and tight end position, for example, I don't mind him there. But I don't disagree with what you're saying. He really came on at the end of this past season. And we're going to go ahead and take Lockett off the board by Jerry's. Oh, wait, that was for the last pick. Well, anyways, same difference. But yeah, we really saw him and Devin Singletary come on at the end of last season. And I won't be surprised if he starts off slow next year, because that tends to be the way that it goes, right? But I won't be surprised if, as the season goes along, he has a great year, right? Ooh, Melvin Gordon and A-Rod off the board for Steven.
Yeah.
Only way isn't if he drafts one of the top running backs, or if they draft one of the top running backs based on what he did last season. Sure. I don't disagree, but I'm a little bit hesitant at the same time, right? I do like him from a fantasy standpoint, don't get me wrong. But it's just the Bills, it's the Bills offense that I don't trust, right? And they're kind of a scary offense in general, where they are going to spread the football around to everyone. So yeah. But dude, some of those like bad weather games, it's a bad weather game for the Bills, they will run the football. So
Yeah.
those are games
That
where
is true.
there's
And that happens all the time around fantasy championship, fantasy playoffs. They start relying on the ground towards the end of the season. Josh Allen, they're typically already winning at that point in the season. So typically, Josh Allen, they don't want running all over the place.
Sure.
Dude, Josh Allen is so much fun to watch, by the way.
Sure.
He's just so cool, dude. But yeah, I don't know. I'm back and forth on it. Back and forth on it. I like Singletary a lot, though.
We're both like, I like him, but I don't like him. But I
Well,
like him a lot.
you know what one thing is though too is like one of the guys Spencer was shitting on, and I hate too, but is a guy that I really want to like, and it's Miles Sanders.
Sure.
Like you're in Philly, you're an extremely athletic running back. If you can put it together, like dude, you could be a super productive player for fantasy and for real life football. So it's like I just wish he would get it together. I wish he would stay healthy, and I wish they would use him a lot. And I think once he stays healthy and proves he'll stay healthy, the Eagles will use him like that. They won't be relying on guys like Boston Scott, Jordan Howard. Because why the hell do you want to? Why would you want to? It's just
Well,
that Miles Sanders hasn't proved it to anyone yet.
I think at the end of the day, like the security you can have is that the Eagles will run the football. They
Yeah.
showed that last season. So no matter what, if you're concerned, you have the chance that based on the offense, that things will be okay, right?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of other guys in that conversation in that running back room as well.
Michael Pittman's a great pick, man.
There's no reason Sanders should not be a top 10 back. The Eagles are just a shit show.
Yeah.
Kind of agree with the way that they utilized that backfield. Yeah.
Yeah. It was productive for them though. I mean, they had the number one running offense in football. They were really good at running the ball, but I still feel like it could have been better if Miles Sanders was the lead horse and he was fully healthy, because that guy can go 0 to 100 like ASAP. So I don't know. Just I kind of hope he does better, to be honest.
I think also where you drafted him, like into the 5th, is a good place to draft him. As Cortland Sutton finally gets taken, it's kind of interesting.
Nice pick.
7th round, 7th pick. Jerry Jeudy went. Then 8th round, 7th pick. Cortland Sutton went. I think Judy's more of like the PPR style receiver for them, where Sutton will be more of like a wide receiver 1, probably more targets in the red zone. And I do think that Tim Patrick will garner a lot of targets in the red zone as well.
So come draft season, who do you think out of this receiving core is going to get the most buzz over the offseason and end up becoming a 5th or 6th draft pick?
I think it's going to be a combination
of. I think it's going to be Jeudy.
I will see. I think Jeudy will be kind of like the sexy pick, right?
Exactly.
And then Sutton will be like the safe pick. So I think it'll be kind of a combination of both those guys. And I do like both of them significantly more with Russell Wilson at the quarterback position, obviously. But I've always loved my guy Jeudy. So this is Judy's season, man. It didn't happen last season. It's okay. Got a little banged up first game of the season and filtered out to the rest of the season, but he'll be okay. He'll be okay, guys. Yeah. How did Cortland Sutton finish last year? Let's look at the wide receiver 44 in PPR. Let's see here. 776 receiving yards and just 2 scores. And he was fully healthy last season, man. Wow. But awful, awful quarterback play. So let's see
If
here.
we
We
have
had
to,
go ahead.
if we have to pick for Brit Mamba, we're taking Chris Olave, the rookie
No,
wide
he's in here.
receiver. He is okay.
You got Spiller in
Oh,
there.
taking Isaiah Spiller. That was my. I didn't know if you would also take that just because you're kind of loaded at receiver. Um, nice pick with Isaiah Spiller.
I like a lot of these receivers that went in the eighth round, right? I mean, Robert Woods, Pittman, even if Jordan Love's throwing the football, still wide receiver one. Ayuk, I think a lot of people have some faith in that offense kind of developing next season, whether it's Jimmy G or Trey Lance, Cortland Sutton for obvious reasons we already talked about. Devonta Smith, you guys know I love my guy Devonta Smith,
I
and
know.
Tyler Boyd in the eighth round. I mean, these are really high value players overall. I say
John,
turn on. Go ahead.
do you feel like you could get Jalen Hurts in the ninth?
It was definitely possible, but I got scared.
So, like, if you're in a real draft right now,
I like my roster enough that I go ahead and
and
secure my
punch.
quarterback, and then I'm safe for the rest of the draft. There's enough
Okay.
receivers and handcuff running backs that I feel confident with just going ahead, securing my guy, and moving right along. So
Okay.
that's my answer.
I like that.
All right, so Senior Cinnabon, I think he has. Well, I don't want to let the CPU auto pick because it'll give him Calvin Ridley, which is a bad pick. Wow, these top couple of players here are bad picks.
Yeah, there's some bad stuff going on right now. Chase Edmonds.
I'm just going to give him the top two flexes that will actually start next year. So that's Edmonds and Claypool.
There's a lot of bad shit in the running back pool right now.
There usually is, you know. I thought there was a chance Jalen came around. I wanted Geno Smith and Jalen together. So I mean, dude, there's still trade talks going around in terms of Jalen, and I don't know. Maybe he will be on the Seahawks with Geno Smith next year. Who knows?
The two Smiths.
Yeah, who knows, man. Yeah, Spencer. I was also worried you were going to take Jalen Hurts with that pick that you took Smith, but dude, I'm telling you, I really like that Hurts to Smith combo for next season. We'll see if
Yeah.
I'm right, but I really do like that. Steven is sounding weird. Is anything
My
new?
sounding weird.
Is anything new?
Weirder than usual.
Right? Oh, it's so sad to see Tom Brady's name.
Ronald's
still
in the
here.
building. What's up, Ronald? How you doing? Yeah,
Ronald.
you missed your guy, Devin Singletary. Go. Spencer's welcome in honor.
Yeah, man, we posted on YouTube and in the Discord. I figured maybe you're busy with work or church or life or something.
Eating cheese. You know how it be. What are you trying to drag Noah Fant into here because he's so
I don't
cool?
know what's happening there.
That was
Yeah,
pretty cool right there, man.
I don't know to control these things, man.
Oh, I like
What's
music.
up, Ronald? Good to see you. Good to have all you guys here tonight, by the way, man. Just good to have the Catch fam together. Appreciate you guys being here, man. Appreciate you guys getting the draft put together with us as well.
It was quick. It turned around quick, too. We got it together.
We did.
Nice.
We really did. Yeah, I always have to like text Steven an emergency text and be like, hey, make sure you join the
Yeah,
draft.
because it fills so quickly.
If you don't, we're going to draft together, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah, because you wanna take all the auto picks, huh?
I'm just, dude, I don't know, man. I don't think we got different drafting styles. By the way, I'm liking my team tonight.
Yeah,
I am.
that's actually a really good squad.
Yeah. I don't like taking compliments from you. Dude, look at the top of this draft board, though. A lot of guys that will not be drafted next year.
Sad business.
Calvin Ridley, Julio Jones, Chris Carson. I mean, Odell, I think, will still get drafted, but he's just with the injury dropped pretty significantly. Odell Beckham, or I just said that. Kenny Galladay, Noah Fant. I still think, especially in deeper leagues, will get drafted.
Yeah,
because he has played a Drew Lock, right? Like he's actually
go ahead.
He's actually had productivity with Drew Lock. So Seattle's still awful, but I think Fant will be okay.
Has there been any buzz on Juju?
No.
That's weird to me.
Well, in
Don't you
terms of
find that kind of weird? Like that there's no buzz about him going anywhere? Like he is a good receiver. He's had a great career in Pittsburgh. And he's a multi-use receiver. He blocks, he
is
runs
he
routes.
is he set to be a free agent?
Yeah, he signed that
Okay.
1-year deal with Pittsburgh last year. I mean, there were a lot of rumors he was
I,
going to go to the Chargers.
I think there has been buzz, but just straight buzz.
Yeah, just straight buzz.
Jason, my lineup's all rookies. Jason and
Yeah,
Mambo.
you
Hey
have
man,
all the rookies, man.
your team has
And
got a
then
lot of good
DK
depth, huh?
Metcalf.
How many more? We have what, 12 rounds? Oh, 14 rounds. Okay, we got plenty of time here. I mean, you got JT and Patty Mahomes, bro. So
Yeah,
you've got the base there. Oh, we gotta pick a player for Boss
boss
Man
man.
Fat.
Bet.
Um,
Let's see. Ronald says Gallup for sure.
yeah, Ronald, we've gone over a lot tonight. So Schultz gets a boom because you don't franchise tag someone, don't use them. Sure, Gallup for sure. Sutton to the moon, and bomb to Judy. But I think bomb to
Boom.
Judy,
Probably
bump
boom.
bump to Judy. But I think Sutton more. Yeah, I mean, just so much has happened the past 48 hours in the
Yeah.
NFL, right? A-Rod re-signed, Adams franchise tagged, Russell Wilson trade, Schultz gets franchise tagged, Amari Cooper being let go, Bobby Wagner gets released, Calvin Ridley gets suspended, Mike G gets franchise tagged, Mike Williams gets extended. I could keep going, but that already hurt my brain to remember all of that. But Sutton is Lockett now. I hope so, man, because Russell and Lockett had a really unique chemistry, and I hope that he can find that deep ball with another player.
I kind of feel like that would be Judy's role more. And also, I'm not sure Russell Wilson's going to be used the same. Nathaniel Hackett runs the offense differently. It's not going to be like Seattle anymore. I think we might see Russell Wilson expand his game a little bit, let Russ cook at a new level almost, right? I don't
Yeah.
know.
So, chat, let us know. Let us know. How do you feel about the Broncos next season? Because I do think that they're a good team. I think that their defense is going to be good. Keyword is good. I really like Pat Surtain. Like
Yeah, he's dog, dude.
a decent safeties, decent linebacking core, right? They're going to be a decent defense at worst, right? But here's the biggest issue. The main reason I was worried about, uh, like A-Rod going there, for example, right? This is such a tough division to play in. This has got to be the best division of football now. You got
Yeah.
Russell Wilson, you got Patty Mahomes, you got Justin Herbert, and let's not sleep on the Raiders coming off a playoff season. And listen, Derek Carr is not a saint. He's not actually, he's a very strong Christian. He might be a saint.
Yeah, I was gonna say
yeah. He is not the best quarterback in the NFL, but let's put some respect on his name. He is a good quarterback.
Dude, they're gonna get absolutely destroyed this year.
Sure. But at the same time, they obviously I always describe them as that team that will do anything they can to beat you. And they are going to do everything they can to beat opposing teams.
Yeah,
so,
but without I don't know, man.
No, I don't listen. They're the worst team in that division, even if they're coming
Josh
off playoff.
McDaniel's a different kind of coach, dude. I think he sucks, bro.
That'll be very interesting to see as well, right? Listen, it's still a really tough division for the Broncos, right?
Yeah.
We saw the Chiefs kind of take a dip this past season in regular season football play. At least they obviously still made it to the AFC Championship game. The Chargers, listen, we're putting them on a pedestal, but they didn't even make the playoffs, right? I mean, one game, but still, it's just, I don't know. I don't think this makes the Broncos a Super Bowl team right off the bat, but it could. And then outside of their division, right? You got the Ravens with Lamar Jackson. You got the Bills with Josh Allen. I mean, it's just you got Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Like, it's not easy playing the AFC, man. You look at the NFC and you got Aaron Rodgers, and then you got the Niners, and you got Matthew Stafford and the Rams. I guess you could argue the Cowboys or Eagles as well. I would rather be in the NFC. So,
Same.
It's tough, man. I mean, I've been saying this like the past month, right?
Yeah.
But I think that division specifically And you know what's interesting? They're going to play the Rams, Seahawks, the Cardinals, and the Niners next season. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, probably what the two best divisions in football. Although Russell leaving the Seahawks maybe hurts that sentiment, but yeah. Let's see here. You get. I'll let
I
people
don't.
take Sutton earlier, and I'll get a discount on Sutton. Is Davis a great pick in the 9th round? Good pick with Gallup, Steven.
Yeah.
Did you pick someone?
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with your screen.
Oh, is it behind?
Yeah, it's weird though. It's behind by like a lot.
Oh, is it? Hold on. Let's reload.
Oh, because I took Ramondre and Gallup back to back.
All right, well, I'm caught up now.
Cool.
King Meh needs a player. Let's give him a
Um,
player.
hmm,
You want to give
I
him a
think
player?
yeah, you go to the flex spot. I mean, let's see. You got Julio. Julio, you know how Ronald
I
feels.
know.
No, not Julio.
Oh, I thought we had like 20. We had 20 seconds. I was getting scared.
Thank you, this Spencer, with the compliment,
I do
man.
think at this point, yeah, absolutely true. And end of the 9th, top of the 10th, Gallup is a steal for sure.
Yeah.
Sure, gonna be wide receiver too. Definitely steal, without a doubt. I think Madison was a great pick as well. I actually really wanted Madison in this round also. Ronald, old ass man.
Old ass man is now on King Mass team. That's what happens when we have to auto pick for you. You end up getting Noah Fant and Julio Jones.
Yeah, yeah, the Noah Fant. Dude, I'm gonna keep my case for Noah Fant, just for the sake of argument. Um, just in case I can be right about something, Steven could be wrong about something.
Well, here's the deal, right? I don't hate, Noah Fant, but Seattle doesn't use the tight end position.
Sure.
Even with Russell Wilson, they didn't use the tight end position. So
Yeah,
it's
they
just
had they
like
like signed like 4 tight ends.
very good tight ends. Like, I mean, Jimmy Graham was good. Gerald Everett was good. Who else did they had a couple other guys, and it was just like they never seemed to really get to do much work with them. As I
Sure.
see Jahan Dotson jumping off the board there, great receiver out of Penn State. Staph infection, dude. Spencer built himself a little pack right there with Rams.
Do you like Spence's team overall too? Out. Things are kind of ugly here at the end of this draft, man.
Yeah, it's gotten dark. We're in some dark ages right now, man.
Should I draft Calvin Ridley? Just do it.
Remember Marlon Mack?
Yeah, he was a beast for like a
Dude,
one game.
dude hasn't played in like 3 seasons. Not really,
Why is that?
just like 2. Well, he tore his Achilles game 1 against Jacksonville, Jonathan Taylor's rookie year. So he didn't play that whole season. And then last season, he played like I think like a couple games barely. And he was basically trying to save his value, and the Colts were trying to save his value for a trade. So literally, it will be like 3 seasons since we've seen Marlon Mack. And
He's
yeah,
good.
Ronald says Mack was good for 1 season, but he was like really good. Like, I mean, I think he could have been a really solid back for the Colts, or for anybody else. But now he's like a 5th-round draft.
He end of the
Nobody's
year
gonna
is
give him anything now.
end of the year is RB4.
Really?
Yeah, so 2019, just over 1,000 rushing yards, 8 touchdowns,
Yeah,
18
that was
receiving
solid.
yards. Then 2018, 900 rushing yards, 9 touchdowns. So
He was good.
yeah, he was good. He's always like that guy that like you would look at towards the end of the draft, like that's like a handcuff situation,
Yeah,
So yeah,
won't be
shout
doing
out to
that
our
this
boy.
year. But I
Yeah,
do
Juju's
think he'll do something this year. I think he might just stay with the Colts and try to play out the rest of his contract.
sure. Smoke of the cat. Where's Juju ending up? Yeah, Steven kind of brought that up earlier.
Yeah.
Who knows? Steelers could try to re-sign Juju, but this is from a month ago. We all know a month ago ain't credible.
Chargers is the one place I've been hearing, but then they signed Mike Williams. I still think it'd be really good to go out and get a guy like Juju, and they've got a ton of cap, but Juju plays really well in the slot. So if you had a guy like Mike Williams and Keenan Allen on the outside and Juju on the inside, and then didn't they bring in a tight end as well? I'm just slipping the name right now. But then you could really have a really dominant offense. Um, really dominant offense. Man, pulling up Antonio Gibson, you feeling your pick over there?
I didn't mean to do that. Yeah. Jason says Big O is a sleeper pick.
He is.
Yeah.
He is. He is
Yeah.
a sleeper.
He's apparently going to be the guy.
He's the guy right now. Yeah, go ahead.
I think Big O is a good name for him too, because there's no way I'll ever be able to pronounce that name. But he actually got some decent work last year. Who was it in our personal league who had him rostered like all season? Yeah,
Patrick. He kept him all year.
Did he know something about this coming year that we didn't know? Is that his keeper for next year?
I think his keeper is the Big L.
It's interesting, man. He's supposed to be the number one role, or number one tight end role. So
I think he will. He's really
we'll see.
Too. And I mean, like, this would have been cool. It would have been cool to see if like the Broncos had like some second round draft capital and they could have gotten a guy like Trey McBride from Colorado State and had like just an absolutely lethal offense. And having, Trey McBride stay in Colorado would have been dope. But because they just don't have any, draft capital to use, I think they're really going to have to just rely on Albert O. And honestly, the biggest concern for the Broncos now at this point is, I think, investing on the offensive side of the ball, like the offensive line.
Deshaun Watson in the 11th, man.
Oh, going to the Steelers, who, the rumors are there, like you were saying.
That would be pretty crazy. I mean, listen, let's throw this question out there, Chad. If the Steelers get Deshaun Watson, are they playoff contenders?
Oh, big facts. Big facts. Yeah.
Steven says big facts.
I mean, I'm starting to get very out on the Browns. And I'm not sure if that's totally fair, but their receiver room is really scary. Baker Mayfield lost confidence this season. That was a great pick by Rashawn Penny there. And I just not sure if I'm loving what's the future of Cleveland. Cincinnati had a fantastic year this year, but there's always regression, right? And then I think the Ravens are going to be really good. But the Steelers were good last year. I mean, they were competitive all the way to the end. They almost made the playoffs. Yeah, with a total bum, Ben Roethlisberger, and an offense that was actually just pretty bad all around.
I definitely think they can go to the playoffs with Deshaun Watson. Yeah. Can they go to the Super Bowl? I don't know. But it's so interesting because like there are all these reports, like there are people coming out and saying Deshaun Watson essentially is going to the Steelers. Like this is
that just because of Flores?
I don't know. There's literally things coming out saying like this is going to happen, and then there were other reports coming out saying this is definitely not going to happen. It's false information. So I don't know. I guess like the legal hearings happened either today or yesterday, or they happen tomorrow, or a combination of those couple of days. So we'll find out.
Are Flores and him like best friends? Like, why is it that they get like attached everywhere that they go? Like everywhere Flores is, there's like a shit ton of rumors.
I don't know. Guess they're cool. Ronald, I want to get your opinion on this though. Talked about this earlier. So apparently the Eagles tried to trade for Russell Wilson and they're in the conversation for Deshaun Watson. Why? Just why? You got Jalen Hurts. Why? Why does everyone hate my boy, Jalen Hurts? Do they just not have the confidence that he's a winning quarterback? Is he just a fantasy quarterback? Am I in lust with him? Oh, we got to pick for Boss Man.
Lust for Hurts. I think you are in lust for him a little bit, though.
I think 90% of our mock drafts I picked him. So
probably higher than that, dude.
Oh man, these are all bad players. They're all.
Let's see here. Yeah, it got really dark here. the Panthers are going to be just dreadful.
Oh, I've also heard that the Panthers are in strong trade talks for Deshaun Watson.
Dude, they have been forever. Like, I just don't even buy it anymore. I feel like they don't even have any draft capital to use.
Sure. Ronald says they haven't had a QB spend any real time as a starter since McNabb, and they're scared. That's so true.
Yeah.
That's just ridiculously true.
Did Darnell Henderson already get taken? Daryl Henderson?
No. Wait.
He
Maybe.
had to. What round did he go?
And I was going to pick him for King Meh. Sounds like you want him. Let's take Greg the leg off the board, though. Henderson.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Senior Cinnabon got him into the 10th round.
That's actually kind of crazy, bro.
Yeah, it's going to be an
Are you
interesting backfield to look at. But
are you out on him next year?
I mean, in the 10th round, I think he's a fine selection.
No, but like, are you like that's out for me? That's out.
Okay. We've talked about this in previous mock drafts, right? Like
Yeah.
it's tough. It's tough, right? Because the way that backfield looked this past year, it was split between 3 running backs over the season. And when whoever's RB1 is the RB1, you want that running back on your fantasy team, but how long is it going to last? The way they played last season. Like Cam Akers has the momentum right now. Henderson had the momentum at the beginning of the season, and Sony Michel had the momentum whenever Henderson wasn't playing, right in the middle of the season as well. So it's interesting, and it's tough to call right now. But if you want to take that gamble and try and get that value, whenever Henderson, assuming he is the running back one at some point, then you can take that gamble. But although Akers got a lot of momentum, and he will have the momentum. He will be the running back taken in fantasy for the Rams. He didn't play very well. Like he looked great coming off of injury. He looked great, but he did fumble the football quite a bit, and he didn't even get used in the Super Bowl that much. So it's an interesting backfield to evaluate, and there is some risk there, I think. Let's see here, Spencer. Instead of Kirk, Ronald, I like Gage. Listen, I think Christian Kirk and Russell Gage are really interesting receivers because if I'm not mistaken, they're both set to hit free agency. So I do like them in general, but I don't know what team they're going to be on and what type of role they might play if they go to a different team. So, Emily, how do I become a moderator? We'd have to set you as one, but I can do that if you really want to be one. Get the robots out of the chat. By the way, Stephen, I do like that selection.
Kendrick Bourne.
Kendrick Bourne is a great selection in the 11th round. I mean, him and Mac Jones had great chemistry last season.
I feel like you're not going to really care for my next pick. It's one of two guys.
You sound pretty depressed.
I'm gonna tell you who the one of two guys are after I do it. So it was between Nyheim Hines and Deontay Foreman. And I took Nyheim Hines because I think he has upside in the PPR value. And I think that he's going to be used a shit ton for Indy next year.
Sure.
So like Deontay Foreman. The only worries I have about JD McKissick, who I think is also like really good Hines type of player, is I think they do want to give Gibson the work. And I think I've also heard a lot of rumors that they're going to bring in a free agent running back or invest at the running back spot for whatever reason.
They already have Patterson too, right?
And they got Patterson, who's a really good young back, and he played pretty well when he got his opportunity. So I don't know. I mean, like I just that kind of concerns me, and that also kind of concerns me about Antonio Gibson too, just because like Gibson, if he's healthy, is obviously a top 2, like first, second round type of guy, but his health has always been an issue. And now that he's got all this competition behind him and he's got Carson Wentz at quarterback, it's just like, I'm not too sure I want to jump back into that zone that I had to deal with last year. It was pretty awful.
Right. Okay. I mean, they do have Commander Carson now on their team,
Yeah,
though.
Commander Car.
Does that change? Hey, Ronald, as an Eagles fan, how are you feeling about Commander Carson being in your division?
You should
Scared?
take a you should take a receiver or running back for him.
Oh, I got to pick a player. Okay, sorry.
Probably actually a receiver because the running backs are just terrible.
Are any of these guys starters? Dude, Kadarius Tony is like the hottest name in Dynasty fantasy football.
Because he's so good, but I honestly think he's not even going to be playing football in like a year.
Yeah.
I really don't think he's going
That's
to play
what scares
football.
me about Dynasty, dude. Is like,
Yeah,
you could just completely like,
the guy could become a rapper
yeah,
or something like, or he could become a salsa dancer. Like you never know. Like the
yeah.
dude could just totally dip out. Um, I
Steven,
mean,
how does it look like you have different hair every time I see you?
dude, like the stress levels and the grease levels, which is kind of a combination of two. So stress leads to my grease, and then like it's just very malleable. It just does a bunch of weird stuff, and so sometimes I can do this the side to side look where my hair just goes out like this. So yeah, it's very flamboyant. That's a word for it. Not a great word to use for it, but it's a word for it.
I mean, it is easier for me. I just shave my head, so
I know.
can't really say too
You
much
look
there.
better. You look better with a shaved head.
Thank you. Ronald, it's like red now. Yeah.
Also, John, I think it's that time of the draft where we bring up something that's happening soon.
What?
What's happening soon in a few hours?
Oh, it's my
Yeah,
birthday.
yeah, big boy.
Yeah, my
Hey, big
birthday
boy.
is tomorrow.
Happy
Yes.
birthday, brother. Happy birthday, early
Thank you.
birthday. Let's give a happy birthday clap to my man Johnny boy.
Thanks, man.
Um,
Thanks.
we got the card in the mail coming to you.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so you'll have a good read. Um,
I'm sure you
definitely
worked
read
hard picking out that card.
it. It's the writing that matters, John.
That's true. That's true.
It's the oh, my mom jumping in here. Uh,
Jane, thank you. Thank you.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Allison asked if we were doing like a birthday stream tonight. Um,
You should have done it though. I kept thinking you were gonna say something like a little
I don't
birthday
really
bash.
like think about my birthday,
Yeah.
you know.
she
What?
did some dark happen,
Oh no,
or just when you're
I
getting
just
older.
don't. It's just that I don't even know how old I'm turning tomorrow.
I do. I think
I think I'm
I do.
27 or 26.
Correct. No, you're not 26. You're 27.
Oh, dude, that's crazy. I'm
It,
almost 30. That is
isn't
crazy.
isn't it wild how time just like goes
Yeah.
by so quickly?
Ronald, happy birthday, but the way Steven said big boy was super weird.
Big
Yeah.
boy.
I thought you guys are used to that by now, being part of this channel. So yeah, for my birthday, I'd like to say, thank you, Catch Fam, for being the community that you guys are and being members of the Catch Fam. 837 subscribers.
150 out.
It's crazy. Oh, I gotta pick a player.
John, while you're picking a player, what are you doing tomorrow? What food are you gonna do? What you guys gonna have any little dessert? Maybe DoorDash a dessert? You gonna DoorDash some wings to celebrate? I think you should have something a little tasty. You've had a you've had a tasty day tomorrow on your hands. Big
Uh,
boy.
Spencer, thank you. Emily, thank you as well. Chris Carson worth the shot in case he comes back. Absolutely.
Yeah,
We're gonna have a family day. We're gonna probably go to a park on a walk,
nice.
and that's really all we have planned. Probably eat some food. I will say, like right now, I'm very tired. Uh, so I went back to work this week. Monday was pretty rough because I probably didn't sleep till like 3. And then Tuesday was a little bit better because I slept from like 8 to 10, then like no, that's not right. Like 9:30 to like 11:30. And then I've been getting up doing the nighttime feeds, but I only did the first feed. And then so I got decent sleep after that, right? And then I don't know what it was today. It was just I did like the midnight feed and the feed after that. And Lily had a X-ray she had to have today. So we'd be at the hospital 1, and Lily was she was pretty unhappy with everything
Yeah,
today.
I can imagine.
The X-ray, she was fine. The hospital, she was fine. We went over to my aunt's actually, so my aunt could meet her. Started to get a little cranky at that point, and then we had to hop back in the car around 5 or 6. No, around 6. And I just had to drive around for like an hour to get her to go to sleep. So it's a process.
I hate X-rays.
Yeah, she liked. Or actually, it wasn't an X-ray. I'm sorry, it was an ultrasound of her hip. They had to look at her hip, but it's been wow, there's a lot of picks at once. Calvin Ridley's finally up the board. It's a tiring process, but I try not to complain because it's more tiring for Allison.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty tired, and tomorrow I'll probably just relax. Moral of the story.
You watch some Netflix, chill out.
Then I got to work Friday and Saturday. So,
what Netflix show are you binging right now?
I'm still on Better Call Saul. I'm on the 4th season. So,
yeah, no spoilers for all the stuff that's already out. But yeah, that's a great show.
It's phenomenal, bro. It's like
a good actor. What's his name?
Oh, I can never remember it. But
he's so good, man.
He's so phenomenal. Good. I there's points because I've always said like Breaking Bad is the best show ever. Like every season is perfect. The show as a series is perfect, has no flaws. And there are points where I'm watching Better Call Saul. And I think it's just Saul's character, but there are points where like I'm like I think I like this show more than Breaking Bad. Like I think it's just as perfect, but I also think I like Saul's character.
That you're gonna really like. What season are you on now?
4.
Okay, so you have started getting into the good stuff then.
And then I love Mike too.
Yeah, Mike's dope. And then you're
and then it's interesting because you kind of start rooting for Gustavo as well.
Well, he's a dog, bro.
Yeah.
He's a dog. He was like my favorite character from Breaking Bad.
Well, yeah, right. And like no spoilers, but Breaking Bad, you're basically rooting against him, Yeah. So it's a great show. It's a great show. I've been binging it. I'm trying to pace it though. I'm trying to actually not. Yeah, exactly. Let's see. The most I ever do on my birthday is dinner with the family, and we usually wait till the weekend because it's easier. Yeah, that's basically how I roll too. 8 days till I'm gonna be in Vegas.
Ooh, that's gonna be hype. You gonna put down some bets like Calvin Ridley? What are we doing? What are we doing in Vegas? You gonna have some fun? What casino are you gonna be at, or what hotel are you gonna be at? You gotta go to the Lazy River.
Is that for your birthday, Spencer? Or didn't you just have your birthday?
That'll be a good trip.
Let's pick a player for Tyler here. Let's find a defense. Let's give him the Patriots.
That's a great defense.
Hustler just moved to Vegas. We gotta pick a.
Does a bear shit in the woods?
Pick a player for Boss Man Fat here.
Vegas has great tax implications of moving there. It's pretty cheap to live there if you can stay away from all the casinos and all the things that try to take your money. I do love the desert weather too. I'm a big fan of Nevada and Vegas in general. It's a cool place.
Definitely at the end of the stream here. Steven is looking to stock Spencer moving off of John now that he has a kid.
yeah. Spence, where you at, brother? I'll trade you my 12th pick if you invite me on the trip.
We're staying in the D, and it's a gift from my dad for my 21st. Let's go, man.
That's awesome. Cool, man. That's awesome. Like the perfect birthday to do it too. That's gonna be sweet. Is your dad going with you too, or are you just going with like a buddy?
Steven's really trying to figure out the logistics here.
Yeah. What flight are you taking? Delta? Are you taking Southwest? What are you doing, man? What are you doing?
Where will you be tomorrow? Yeah. You guys seen that Robbie Anderson is linked to the Patriots now? The Patriots like really want Robbie Anderson.
Why, dude?
I
That's
don't
so
know.
weird.
It's a very, very Bill Belichick-esque move.
It's not a
We
good player.
we need Robbie Anderson on our team. I've also seen Allen Robinson thrown in the mix for the Pats as well. Which, like, I guess those two guys help Mac Jones. Don't get me wrong, but
Mm-hmm.
if that's all you do in free agency, who knows? Maybe that's enough. I don't know. He'll be a baggage claim with Flowers. My dad's going with for Flying Delta. Dude, careful what information you put out here. Yeah. Do you want my social security number too?
No, I just need location.
Spence, I've seen you playing Madden 22 the last couple nights. Are we having the Catch Vegas trip? Dude, one day we'll set that up.
John, that was a pretty creepy comment too.
Yeah.
Checking out his gaming activity.
Well, like I'll be playing COD in the middle of the night and I'll like see if anyone's online. And it's Spencer's he's playing some Madden. So
yeah.
I believe Senior Cinnabon is on there playing Madden quite a bit too.
Dude, every time I hear that name, I want to Cinnabon.
Sorry, I have friends on Xbox.
I know, dude. I have none, dude. I just have like
old then usually messages. I see Steven watching Netflix. So
it's not even me, it's my mom. So it's like yeah, so it's like yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's see. How many more teams will Wentz fleece?
I don't know.
Dude,
I was so surprised.
Well, so apparently, as many of you guys know, the Washington wanted Russell Wilson. Russ did not want to go there.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
And I guess they didn't want to wait around for Deshaun Watson. But I really think that Carson Wentz will go to Washington and die. Like,
that'll be it.
I mean, potentially like a backup. Like he'll be relevant in the NFL to some degree, but I mean, this will probably be his last shot to be a starting quarterback because, like we've talked about, really the main issue is his leadership ability. You know.
Yeah.
And you gotta have that. You gotta have it as starting quarterback.
And he's going to a team where they kind of lack the infrastructure that's needed, and he's going to be replaced. All right, here's another little thing here too, right? Taylor Heineke is beloved by that locker room. Are we so sure that Carson Wentz is going to keep this job? Because Carson, I don't think is going to just walk in with all the shit that's been going on and take over the locker room, because Taylor Heineke is, in my opinion, just as good, if not better. And he is loved in that team. I mean, Chase Young is like his best friend.
Dude, I hadn't even thought about that.
I don't know if he's gonna finish the season. Carson Wentz doesn't have the mental capacity, as Ronald calls him, a mental midget. He does not have the mental capacity to make it through training camp, to make it through that grueling season and be the starter all the way through.
Dude, I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah.
No love for my boy, the Heineker.
Yeah.
Jeez.
The Heineken here. He's going to be in.
He is beloved.
Yeah. He is going to be playing a considerable amount of time. And then there's also whatever happened to Ryan Fitzpatrick.
The Fitzmagic. Where is he going to be?
He hasn't retired, as far as I know.
Should have never retired. He's the greatest of all time. Yeah.
Still float around. I mean, all the talk about Mitchell Trubisky. There's all this random buzz around Mitchell Trubisky getting starting money. And I don't know where this came from, but like, I would rather have a guy like Ryan Fitzpatrick, even though he just got like ripped apart last year in an injury. I don't want Mitchell Trubisky leading.
I do think Trubisky is like the perfect backup to Josh Allen.
Yeah, that's about it.
I think he should stay there.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, he just signed a 1-year deal last season. But hey, if I'm Mitch the bitch, I'm taking whatever contract anyone wants to give me, no matter the outcome. I always liked Mitchell Trubisky, you know that, but no, he probably shouldn't be a starter. But I think his name's starting to get thrown around because when you look at the free agency market for quarterbacks, it probably is. Late. Yeah, it's not. There's no one really else there. So, and there are a lot of teams going for hypothetically Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, realizing that, A-Rod's re-signed, Russell Wilson is now a Bronco. Watson's really the last guy, right? Wentz shipped off too. So slim pickings. And some of these teams literally don't have a quarterback for next season. So we'll see. We'll see. You can have Jordan Love, Steven. Yeah, there you go. It's a nice gift from the Packers.
Yeah.
Andrew, New York Giants, maybe. Yeah, I've heard the Giants in the mix as well for Trubisky, but also just in general for a quarterback, which this is definitely a make it or break a year for Danny Dimes. So, all right. We're not going to go through the teams. You guys can see your teams because we had a lot of auto picks happen tonight and a lot of collective drafting, which is completely fine. But this was actually a really good draft. Like, by the time we got to the 10th round, things were like very, very slim. I don't know why it's not letting me scroll over to show Steven's team too. But I hate that I can't show all the teams really anymore. You guys can see the player pictures here, though. You can go off those. But
I will say I really like Spencer's team throughout this a lot.
Everyone drafted well. I mean,
this was a really good draft all the way through. I just really think that duo at the top of that set him up really nicely.
Yeah, Kupp and Debo's crazy. Who's my Steelers quarterback? Maybe Deshaun Watson. If not, it's probably going to be Mason Rudolph and Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah.
And Malik Willis or somebody else next year, right?
Yeah.
Or the following year. But we'll see. We'll see, man. I mean, I think Watson would be really interesting on the Steelers. I think I'd rather see him there than the Panthers or Eagles or some of these other teams floating around. But we'll see. We'll see. So, yeah, that'll about wrap it up. We had a lot of information to go over tonight. I've had a lot of NFL updates over the last 48 hours. I'm kind of hoping that leading up to the draft and maybe a little bit after the draft, it continues to be this entertaining and crazy. But at the same time, it'd be nice for it to kind of settle down, get everyone on the team they're going to be in next year so that we can evaluate our 2022 fantasy football season as effectively as possible. But literally leading up to the end of August, we'll probably have some sort of drama for at least one team, especially with injuries and, free agency and blah, 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 right? Training camp. We'll see what happens, man. That's why it's always fun. Keep it entertaining, right? So, Ryan May, Kupp, Debo, or Chase Hill. I'll go Kupp, Debo personally.
Yeah, right now I'm still Kupp, Debo. I think there's a lot of upside for Chase. Obviously, he's so young, but right now I think Kupp and Debo being I think they were the 1 and 2 last year. You got to kind of go with them.
Yeah. No disrespect to Chase Hill, though. Still a great combo.
Yeah.
Spencer, good stream tonight, fellas. Hey, I appreciate
it, brother. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, of course. I just made a mess.
And happy early birthday to you as well, Spencer. I know it's 8 days to well, but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna be out there partying and shit. Vegas is gonna be dope, Spencer. You pumped, dude? I'm excited, man.
Steven's coming with you, man. Yeah.
I'll see you in Dalton.
Yeah, happy early birthday, Spence. we got you, Steven. So
you're gonna open your suitcase up and be like, surprise! Welcome to Vegas.
Yeah, appreciate you guys getting this put together as always, man. Appreciate the quick turnaround time. My birthday was in January.
I saw the comments on geeking.
Wait, why? That's what I thought. I remember wishing you a happy birthday.
Yeah.
And then I got confused. You know what, Spence? Happy early birthday.
Happy early birthday, man.
Yeah, man. Happy early birthday. My bad, man. Yeah, appreciate you guys getting this put together, though. Always a blast with you guys. And just appreciate your guys' support throughout the dark ages of no fantasy football. And appreciate you guys sticking through last week and this week and the coming weeks as things have been really busy for both Steven and I, and just trying to get content pumped out as much as we can. And we will be back to a normal schedule before you know it, probably sometime after the NFL draft, but we will definitely still be doing one of these fantasy mock drafts at least once a week and 100% catching up on all the NFL news we possibly can in the meantime. Jerry's good to talk to everyone tonight. It's good to talk to you, Jerry.
Love
Spencer,
you, Jerry.
It's the thought that counts. That's right. Think the Seahawks take a quarterback in the first. I mean, I've seen them linked to the Watson trade as well. I don't quite know if that's going to be a thing. It's definitely possible that they could go for a quarterback in the first, but I don't know, man. I think they're kind of in a rebuild mode, and I don't know if there's enough talent at the quarterback position that they want to use that first round pick. Steven looks like the type of guy. Sorry,
you were itching for this comment right here, this is a great comment.
Type of guy to end up some alley passed out if he went to Vegas. Just no comments.
Dead in an out or McDonald's. Yeah. That sounds appropriate for me.
All right, Catch fam, we'll go ahead and start winding down the stream. Make sure to hit that like button on the way out if you didn't do so already. Make sure if you're new to the channel and you tuned in that you hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and join the Catch fam down below. Discord link is in the description down below. Completely free to join. Best way to get updates on the channel. Best way if you want to join a mock draft in the future, I always send out the link in there first. And just a good overall time in the Discord, connecting a little bit closer. See some good pictures of wings by Spencer. Get some NFL updates and debate, all kinds of things in there. First thing I'm going to is the Dispo. Dude, I'm pumped for you, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
All right, boys and girls. Appreciate you guys. Steven, you got anything to say before we sign off tonight?
No, I had a ton of fun tonight. Gonna try to drop some college content. Well, now these guys are NFL content basically, but next week to kind of just reflect on the combine, also to start prepping heavy for the drafts, which is coming around. Starting to see all these videos of the mock drafts coming around more and more. So I think that'll be a good way to really start reflecting on these prospects. And so much has changed, obviously, over the week in the NFL. So these teams have different needs now. So yeah, just try to get you guys up more to speed there too.
Sweet. And I'll be pumping out shorts, and we'll put together another mock draft, catch up on any NFL news that we can for next week as well.
Oh, Spencer just said something that I've been thinking about personally for a little bit, and I would be very interested in that. I don't know the logistics of this, but this could be cool. A March Madness bracket for Catch Fam. I actually have to put mine together still too.
We will get that going, that discussion going in the Discord, and we get that put together.
Yeah.
Andrew, have a good night. You as well. Pray, is that John and Steven? It is. What's up, man? Catching us at the end of the stream, but appreciate you coming out nonetheless. Is that Pray I see? All right, boys and girls, we'll go ahead and sign off for the night. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate everything you guys do for this community, for this channel. And I got nothing else to say, but thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, you saw it here on The Catch. And peace.
Peace.